Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. We are Lees-McRae College's Order of the Tower student ambassadors. And we're going to take a little bit of time tonight to answer some of your questions that you might have. So if you think of anything while we're live, feel free to just comment it in the comment box below, and we'll read those questions and answer as many as we can. But we're going to go ahead and get started with some housing questions, because we heard a lot of you had questions about that.
How does the housing process work for freshmen?
So to start off, for freshmen, you are automatically put in our Avery Residence Hall if you're female, or our Virginia Residence Hall if you're a male. But as far as roommates go and such, you fill out a little questionnaire. It's part of like your welcome packet and stuff. And our wonderful housing expert, Denise Dyer, kind of pairs you based on what you say there. With someone else, you can request to have someone in your major. You can request not to have someone in your major, stuff like that. If you are a part of a team, like a sports team, your coach can also pair you with someone else on your sports team. You can see someone at orientation or find someone on our admissions page that also got accepted. And if you guys get along, you can request to live with them. There's a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, so join the Admitted Bobcats Facebook page. That's a really awesome way to meet people. Maybe find someone that you get along real well with before you even come to campus.
What was it like for you guys when you were moving in as freshmen?
I am a personal person. I went through like the random roommate assignment process, and I was kind of worried about it because like I didn't really know anybody coming in. And I actually got a really, really awesome roommate my freshman year, and we're still to this day really good friends and everything. So I think that as long as you're honest on that, like it's a really, really good process, and it turned out really well for me.
And I will say that it doesn't have to work out perfectly the first time. For me, my roommate decided that this wasn't the college for her, and so she moved out the first week of classes. And then I found other people that I had really similar interests with, and people who lived on my hall and were in the honors program with me. And so then that's where I met Mary, and now she's been my roommate for 3 years. So I always say that it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. We do have options here. We have like a roommate change day, and we do give you time to be able to get to know other people. And so you don't have to hit it off right from the start. There are other options.
Were you guys nervous when you first came in as freshmen?
No. I'm from Florida, and so I could not wait to get to college. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, but that's 8 hours away. Like, are you sure you are ready for that?" And I was just super excited. And so whenever I moved in, I also went through the random roommate process. But then I found out that my teammate was actually right across the hall from me. So her and I got really, really close, really, really fast. And so, yeah, no, I honestly wasn't nervous, and I didn't really go through a lot of homesickness, but maybe that's just a weird case.
I'm also from Florida, and I was nervous. Yeah, it's a big adjustment, but what's really cool about residence life here is that every hall has like a resident assistant and peer allies, and every building has a resident director. So even if you don't know anyone coming in, like maybe your roommate was random, and it takes a little bit to get to know them or whatever, you've got the resident life staff who's kind of like there to be a friend for you right from the beginning. So that's like a really cool way that you can just connect with people right off the bat. And they do like events and stuff, and there's all welcome week events happening the first couple weeks you're here. So there's a lot of opportunities sort of when you first come to campus, a lot of chances to meet a bunch of people and start kind of building your community of friends, which really helps if you are nervous to get to know some people who are going through like the same thing.
Can you talk about summer orientation and like go a little bit more in depth about the programs that the RAs do and what you do at summer orientation? That's two different things, I know. Talk about summer orientation and then talk about programs that Res Life puts on.
We have an orientation leader with us tonight.
So I was an orientation leader this past summer. With orientation, you have 2 sessions, and basically we do orientation so that you can get acclimated to the campus before you come to campus and start your first day of classes. When you come to orientation, you will take a placement test just to make sure that you're in the right level of classes. You'll work on getting your schedule together, whether you know what major you want to pursue or not. You'll get something ready to start when you come to campus. You'll just learn about how residence halls work, how using the dining hall with your ID works. It's also just a chance for you to get to know your future classmates, both in your major and outside of your major. So orientation is a really great way to get acclimated to the campus and know what to expect before you come and start your first week of classes.
As far as Res Life goes, I'm an RA, Colin's an RA, Haley's an RA. Becca's an RA. Oh, I'm so sorry. I knew she was an RA. Yikes. Yeah, I'm so sorry. But we're all RAs. As far as programs go, we do have certain wellness concepts that we try to meet just to create a wide variety of programs, but our main purpose is to kind of get people together that might not be friends or might not know each other, or just get people very comfortable with where they're at. So we do a wide variety, such as Haley did one where we planted plants, which was really cool, as an environmental aspect. Or I did one where we made coasters, which could be given as gifts. So Colin did one that was a resume builder, and that helped you academically. And so they do kind of range, but more often than not, you will meet someone that you don't necessarily know.
Yeah, and the whole goal of our program really is to get people out of their rooms and involved with one another in their community, because the more people you know within your residence halls and things like that, the more happy you're going to be and more acclimated to the environment that you're going to be in. That just leads to other successes on campus.
We have some athletes in the room. Can you talk about your adjustment from high school to life as a college student athlete and how you have worked on that?
Especially being a student, and then you want to get involved in other stuff too. It's a lot harder to manage your time, so you have to kind of build your time management skills coming in. I know for me, it's just really helpful to keep everything on one schedule, so I can see it what I have at this time and that time every single day. So just a lot of scheduling and time management skills.
Yeah, I would definitely say just taking advantage of the resources around you. Don't be afraid to talk to your advisors on as far as academics goes. So if you don't know if you should take this class because maybe you're going to be in season and you don't know if it might be a little too academically challenging to handle while you are going through that type of stuff, then definitely take advantage of those resources. But also talking to your coaches and everything, and scheduling wise. So I definitely agree with Colin. It's definitely a time management thing. It's not impossible. It can be done. We have a lot of student athletes here, and a lot of them have great GPAs, and you see them involved in a lot of other things. So it's not it's this impossible feat that you're going to come and instantly regret doing. But it is something that you can't just expect it to be an easy process. It's going to take an adjustment period in the beginning. It's going to take some getting used to. But as long as you reach out to the right people and ask the right questions, then it's not hard at all.
Okay, so with Wildlife Fire and Rehab, what summer is the internship?
So with the wildlife rehab program, your first year you'll just be taking classes in class, more traditional learning. Starting your sophomore year, you'll start doing classes that are paired with work at the rehabilitation center. So you'll take classes like Intro to Wildlife Rehabilitation, and part of that class is working shifts at the rehab center a few times a week. And then your second semester of your sophomore year, you'll start taking more classes, so advanced clinical rehabilitation, I think is that semester, and then wildlife as partners in education, where you're learning how to work with our educational animals, the ones that are permanent residents that we use for education. And then after your sophomore year, that summer is when you'll do the internship at the rehab center all summer. So after you complete your sophomore year. Then you do that 12 credit hour summer internship. And then after that summer, you can start mentoring at the rehab center. So you sort of become the teacher that's teaching the next generation of students when they're at the rehab center. And then you can be a mentor sort of in that leadership position your junior and your senior year if you choose to do so. Did that answer the question? Yeah, okay.
Yes. What are some of your other majors?
Yeah, we have several nursing majors here. And nursing, I think, is one of the more time-consuming programs on campus. I'm a junior, so I've been in the program officially for a year. And Joe and Haley just applied this year and got in, and so it's going to be a whole new journey for them. Our nursing program is really rigorous. We do a class the summer before you start your junior year. We do a summer class in between junior and senior year. So you're going to be doing nursing school pretty much year-round for a couple of years, and that is something to think about as well when you're applying. Most nursing programs will have that, but ours specifically has 2 summers where you are taking a class. Right now they're online, but that could change in the future.
Criminal justice major, cycling minor.
Business major, psychology major, religion major. Hey, not a lot of
Minor, hi,
those.
we're here.
Only religion major. Woo-hoo. But yeah, double major in criminal justice and religion, or religious studies.
Tariana and I are both double majoring in psychology and wildlife biology with the concentration in wildlife rehab.
Oh, and Mary has a minor in communication arts and design.
I think we have all the programs covered.
Yeah, any program.
Yeah, if you have any questions about that?
Meredith over there is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
She's off campus.
She's off camera, but she's important.
She's our moderator.
Okay, so can business with a concentration in accounting lead to a CPA?
So I guess I'm the best to answer that one. Yeah, so I'll talk about the way the business school works is you can do a concentration in accounting, finance, or marketing, or any combination of the 3. One of our professors who teaches most of the accounting classes actually is a CPA, and a bunch of the graduates who graduate with their concentrations in accounting go on to get their CPA. You don't necessarily have to have a concentration in accounting, but obviously it helps because you learn a lot about it, and the CPA is the exam's not an easy exam. So yeah, that's definitely a route that a lot of people take after graduating. So to answer your question, yes, it can lead to becoming a CPA.
What about the criminal justice program? What do you guys do with that?
That's the $1 million question.
Yeah, okay, so I'm a big fan of our criminal justice program just because I think that, like, even though we take pretty specialized classes, it's one of the programs that you can honestly apply to just about everything, and I've seen it combined with so many different things. A really big and popular program of study at our school is a lot of people will major in wildlife rehab and then minor in criminal justice because they want to be like game wardens. A lot of people will study CJ, but then they'll might want to go into the U.S. Marshals, or for instance, me, I want to work more with kids and like in the advocacy side of things. So it's just so broad that you can really just like study it and do anything that you want with it. Plus, we just take a lot of cool classes. Like we had an investigation interrogation class where we got to all have different roles in a crime scene and like solve the crime and everything, and that was really fun. But yeah.
Yeah, I think all the seniors, well, there's a lot of seniors, but I've heard a lot from all of the seniors. And we have some applying for grad school, some applying for law school, some jumping right into positions such as probation and parole officers. But the potential kind of are endless.
Yeah, I've even heard of some people like touching on business again. They do like accounting, like we were talking about, but then they have like a minor in criminal justice, so they can do like forensic accounting and like do like white collar crimes.
Yeah, white collar crime is a really big thing too, because if you attach like a business degree with a criminal justice minor, and you can definitely look into more of that aspect. I've actually talked to people who are interested in doing international type stuff, where they study business and then do a minor in criminal justice to look at like our relationships with other countries and like crimes in that way, and trying to go federal. So it's just something that you can really take and apply it to just about anything.
All right, so take-home notes today. Should I bring extra storage, bins/drawers to LMC? How is the storage room in the residence hall?
I would definitely say yes to that. I have a few extra bins in my room that I keep like miscellaneous sort of stuff in. Because the way it works is you'll get a desk and a dresser, and those are the two main things that you'll store stuff in. And your desk usually ends up being like for just school stuff, like pencils and pens and paper and whatnot. And then your dresser is just for clothes. So there's a lot of room in the residence halls, but you should definitely bring something to keep yourself organized.
Yeah, a lot of people will loft their beds, and you have a good bit of space under your bed if you do that.
We're not allowed to loft it.
You
can raise them.
Raise
Yeah.
it up. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
lofting, but
You
it's like
cannot build the structure.
Yeah.
you raise it up high enough that a box can fit.
Yeah.
But also, like, think about the fact that you are sharing this space with another person. And so it's definitely courteous to have something that you can store your own stuff in without trying to put it like on their side of the room. Even if you have someone that you absolutely get along with and it's just like my side is your side, it's still nice. Like you're probably not gonna want to have your stuff just like spread all out across the room. So it's definitely like a normal dormitory style room that you're gonna want some extra storage and everything for. But I've seen people do crazy things and utilize the size of their rooms.
And what you can always do is you can bring some storage stuff with you, and when you move in and get a better feel of how everything fits in your room, you can always run to Walmart, which is 20 minutes down the road, and pick up more items.
And also for all you people who live like somewhat closer, you can always take some stuff back as well. So.
All right. Bryce says, I wish we get a major in wildlife or rehab and a minor in art, since there is an internship for both. When will I do the art internship?
Like our internship over the summer, I'm guessing. So if you're doing wildlife rehab, the only summer that you have kind of locked in that you have to be here is the summer after your sophomore year. So you're going to have the summers after your freshman year and the summer after your junior year that you could do a different internship with.
And you can also do an internship during the school year.
Right, yeah, if it's something local or something you can do from long distance, you can actually get credit for things like that.
I knocked out 2 internship components this summer. I was doing my criminal justice internship and my cycling studies internship both. And that was just, I was able to schedule 15 hours a week for each of those. And I knocked it out during the same summer.
Yeah, a lot of programs will have your option where you can do it either in the fall or in the summer. So if you have to have both, then you can figure it out that way.
All right. Sammy Croft says, what's one thing you can't go without?
My dog is here, living with me.
Coming to Lees-McRae.
I love
I would definitely say, like, we're not required to have a laptop here, but it makes your life a whole lot easier to have a laptop.
There's
That's
so
the answer we're going with.
much, there's so much stuff online. So right now we utilize Sakai, which will change to Brightspace next year. But basically it just has all of your classes on there. You have assignments or resources under there. Sometimes teachers will put PowerPoints. They'll put assignments you have to turn in online. Your homework can get on there. So I wouldn't be able to do any of my work honestly without my laptop.
Yeah, I would say that's a very good investment.
Yeah.
See, I was the person, I wrote papers on my phone because I had Microsoft Word downloaded and I would just be walking around typing paper. You don't want to be me. I definitely suggest investing in a
I can
laptop
imagine formatting.
because while our library is great, like she said, there's so much stuff online that you're going to want that.
For me, it's not going to be as sophisticated as a laptop. It's just my big fluffy blanket. We're up in the mountains, so it does get a little chilly. And with me being from Massachusetts, I travel with my blanket to back and forth from home to college. So it's kind of just like my little safety blanket, but it's big and fluffy.
I was going to say a travel mug for your coffee because when it's really cold outside and the wind is blowing and it's snowing, the last thing you want is snow in your coffee. Like, that is just not
Or
good.
that hot coffee to turn to iced coffee.
Yeah, so I would say, like, if you're a coffee drinker, you might want to invest, like, a nice mug that you can take outside. Yeah.
Can I be a nerd and say my planner? I could not live without my little floral planner. I put everything in that, and if I didn't have it, I would be a disaster, more of a disaster.
Great question, Sammy.
Oh, okay. Bryce says, do y'all have closets or wardrobes in the freshman residence halls?
Closets.
It's a closet. Yeah, it's in the female residence halls, you have a closet, kind of like a little vanity place in Avery that like is a cabinet thing. I used to use that for like food things, and then you'll have a dresser to yourself. In Virginia, for freshman males, you're gonna have basically just a closet and a dresser. So I would definitely say if you're a male in Virginia to definitely bring extra storage things as far as that.
And don't forget hangers.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah,
bring
hang
your
hangers.
All right. Bryce says, what do you guys honestly do on the weekends?
Sleep.
And homework.
That's it, though.
Like,
Yeah, that's a good. We like to catch
All
up
the
on
time.
our sleep.
I like to hike all the time.
Oh,
If there's
yeah.
not ice on the ground, I'm probably out on a trip.
I hang out with my friends.
I like to go to this coffee shop about 8 minutes from campus. I always like to go there and get work done. Just hang out at the coffee shop on weekends.
Student development does a real good job of like hosting events and stuff for us to do too. So there'll be like movie nights, or sometimes there was like a trip this semester, last semester, one Saturday they went to Carowinds, the Panthers games. Yeah, so the student development office does like a pretty good job of keeping stuff happening during the weekend so that if you are on campus and want something to do, you can do that. We also have like during some events and stuff, you can win like movie tickets and things, and Boone is only about 25 minutes away. So you can go there and there's like a mall and a movie theater and a bowling alley and things like that.
I would also say definitely take advantage of your surroundings, because like we live in such a beautiful place here, and like we have Grandfather Mountain and Sugar Mountain and Beach Mountain, and it's just like a really, really awesome place to live. And like as long as you get out there and look for things, you're gonna find something to do. Like it's just ample.
And in addition to that, we have a ton of volunteer opportunities throughout the community, both Avery County, which we're in, and Watauga County, which is our neighbor. If you want to volunteer at the Humane Society, if you want to volunteer at the food pantry, there's a ton of different places to help out during the weekends.
Also sports.
Yeah.
We have sports
yeah.
on the weekends, which is
Cheering
fun.
on, team on.
But like I know one of our really, really cool events that we have is like in the fall, cycling has a home race. And that's like really, really cool to watch them do all of that type of stuff. And obviously like we have soccer games in the fall and stuff like that. So then, yeah.
Basketball games starting at the end of the fall semester and
Winter,
going into
yeah.
January.
Long story short, there's always something to do on the weekend. If you can't find anything, just ask us. We'll find something for you.
Yeah.
All right. Caitlin wants to know, what are some random things you should take to college that you would have never thought to have brought?
Wax burner.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
I
that.
like never would have thought that I needed that, to be honest, but I love it. So I actually do live with my dog, and like I love her to death, but she's a dog. Sometimes she just smells a little bit. And so like a wax burner is crucial for me there, and I never thought about it, but I love it now. I don't know how I lived without it for 2 years.
Mine's a vacuum. And I actually asked for a vacuum for Christmas this year because I didn't have one. And a broom's fine and all, but like at the end of the day, you just can't clean the same way. And so my dad got me like the little like small vacuum, you know, that you can actually clean with.
So on that, a rug.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that for decorative purposes. Our floors are tile, which is great as far as cleaning goes, because you can just like wipe things out there, everything doesn't get stuck in a carpet. But because we also do live in the mountains and we get a lot of snow, our rooms can get very cold. Even with the heat, I mean, the heat works wonderfully, but like they can get cold, and a rug just kind of like keeps things a little warm.
It makes it like homey.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
it so much
and it
homier
feels
out
good on
here,
your feet instead of like cold tile in the morning.
And for girls, I always recommend bringing Christmas lights to hang up in your room. It just makes your room warmer and cozier, and like you don't have to look at like the fluorescent lights all day.
My mom put curtains in front of my, we don't have doors that go into the closet. It's just like an open closet. And my mom put curtains in front of it. And I have to say it was the best thing. Like, I mocked her so
People
much.
put like shower curtains or regular curtains in front of the closet since there's a door. That way you can hide your mess when someone comes.
I have
AKA
doors in
parents.
my closet, so.
Also, like, I would say don't go buy a futon or anything like that until you've seen your room. Because, like, you never know if it's going to actually fit because they are laid out somewhat differently from one another. And I know my freshman year, I had my heart set on a futon and then it was not going to fit. And yeah, so just don't do that.
Another random thing I just thought of, like a portable charger for your phone is really good. Because if you're having a busy day and you just don't have time to run back to your room, it really helps to have a portable charger. You just keep it in your backpack.
And for those nice long hikes or nice long bike rides.
Yeah.
I was gonna say office supplies, which sounds like, duh, you'd bring that to college, but stuff like a hole punch to keep all your stuff organized, and like a stapler for all of the papers you're gonna have to turn in, and you're gonna have like 3 things to do at the same time. And if you don't have a way to keep it all organized, then it can be really difficult. So even if you get like the little sticky notes that can like go in your books, like to keep your chapters organized, something like that, I would definitely say that's a good idea to bring as well.
We have a question. Is the closest Walmart in Boone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
But we have Dollar General, which is like 2
Yes,
minutes,
yeah.
2 minutes down the road, which it's like, yes, it's Dollar General, but I guarantee you they have just about everything else that you need, and you don't have to drive all the way to Walmart. I mean, if you just really want to go to Walmart, then like go ahead. But Dollar General works. Like I got sheet protectors there and binders there and like
Storage bin.
bins there, all sorts of just different stuff. And it's right down the road. And then we also have
And
Mine
Lowe's
and
Foods.
Lowe's.
So you can get your groceries from.
And if you are a Walmart junkie like I am, people are always going to Walmart. Like I think we go like probably take a trip to Boone like once a week, maybe once every couple of weeks. So it's always easy to get a ride with friends. I didn't have a car my freshman year, so it was really easy just to like call up a friend and see if they want to go take a trip to Boone or just hop on. Someone.
My friends have made grocery store trips like a multi-weekly, like multi-day thing. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's nice just to like drive. Like we have really pretty scenery. Even if you're
And the
just
road
going
to
up and
Boone,
down.
it's like 20-25, but it's a straight shot. So
Yeah, it is.
you get used to
There's
it.
not a
Straight
straight
shot.
road anywhere near here, but
No, it's a curvy straight shot.
No, but you get used to it.
And it's uphill.
Yeah.
Okay, we have like a few minutes left, guys. Can you talk about parking? What you would recommend for freshmen who want to register their car? Do they need a car? Things like that.
Definitely bring your car. If you're not freshman and don't count on parking close to where you're gonna live. You have to park like way over at the gym, but it's not that far of a walk, and it's really nice having your car.
But if you don't have a car too, like, it's totally up to you whether or not you want to bring it. I had a car, but I didn't bring it my freshman year. I left it at home. And if you don't have a car, there's, like someone mentioned earlier, there's always someone going to Boone. There's always someone going to Food Lion, someone going to Dollar General. So if you don't want to bring your car or you don't have a car, it's not like you're going to be stuck here. There's lots of ways to get around. But if you do want to bring your car, seniors get like top priority with parking spots, and then juniors and then sophomores and then freshmen. So there's a chance that you'll be at like the gym or at a further lot. But even then, like what Colin said, our furthest lot is just a maybe like 10-minute walk, which is really not that far.
I would also say there are some programs that, like your sophomore year, junior year, you might need to drive to an event. Nursing, we drive to all of our clinical sites. So if you're interested in being a nursing major, you might want to think about having your car maybe like junior year, senior year. There are students who don't have a car and who like make it work and we carpool and stuff, but it's a lot more convenient for the nursing program to have a car. I don't really know about the other.
I think education also drives.
Yeah.
Overall, if it's not something that is majorly important to you freshman year, or extremely important to you, I should say, don't do it. I mean, like it could be an expense that you don't want to pay at the moment, which is fine. But then feel it out your freshman year. Like decide, like, is it worth calling someone every time you need a ride? Which it might be. Like I know I was always willing to give people rides. is it worth it? Or like for nursing or education, like you might have to drive somewhere. So if it's not something that, if you're something you're teetering on, like it might not be for you freshman year, but definitely feel it out afterwards.
Yeah, I would definitely say you need to start looking at getting a car or bringing a car your junior year for sure. Just because that's whenever you start looking at internships, job opportunities and everything. And it's really, really hard to call up your friends who also have classes and also like might have practices and job interviews and ask them to drive you to your interview that could be 20 minutes away or something like that. It's not that they won't do it because like I know I have really great friends, but it's definitely something like you're gonna start really wanting your own ability to drive yourself places by your junior year for sure.
And because as of right now, if you don't know, Banner Oak does not have public transportation. So that's probably a big thing we need to mention. And my second thing is if you do plan on bringing a car, keep an eye out on your email, whether it's your personal email or when you get an LMC email, because that's when the notification will go out for you to register for parking. So if you want to bring a car, you really have to keep an eye out so that you can register in time.
We also don't have Uber. I just like want to kind of push that out a little bit. Like we are a small community, so whenever I've ever looked at like an Uber, like a Lyft type situation, there's nobody driving up here. And so like I feel like I should put that out because sometimes people feel like, oh, I can just Uber somewhere because I'm not going anywhere that often. But we don't really have drivers.
Now, if you want to become a driver, you
Yeah.
can be the intern for Banner Oak. You might have like
Just like people, you might get good money. Like,
well, I mean, hey, that's your choice. You can get some extra bucks that way.
There is the high country bike car service. They do shuttles.
Yeah.
I also want to add there that like most things in Monroe are walking distance from campus. Like literally, if you need to get there, you can get there. Like, it's pretty doable. So.
Or ride a bike. We are a bike-friendly campus, extremely so.
And I made it my freshman year, no problem without bringing a car.
Yeah,
And it's also, since Avery, which is the female residence hall reserved for incoming female freshmen, they have a nice big parking lot. It's also a good excuse to, get to meet the nice lady. I need a ride. So it's a good excuse to meet more students on campus as well. Because if you need a ride, you gotta find a friend.
Specifically freshman girls.
How often do you guys see bears?
Okay, you really only see them in the fall semester.
Really, yeah.
Like
Dollar
spring
days of
semester comes
grandfather.
on, you don't really see them. But like the fall semester, that's when it probably probably around October and everything is like when you really start to see them. But the thing about the bears is like they're there and then they're gone.
Yeah.
So like you'll see them for October, maybe into November a little bit, but then you don't have to worry about them for the rest of the time you're here. And my biggest thing, okay, people like to try and make a spectacle out of the bears. Don't be that person. Okay, like lock the dumpster with the anti-bear things that we have because that really helps. Like it's when people just don't want to do that type of stuff that they like stay around. And so that's why people see them so often is just because like they don't want to take the extra 5 seconds that it takes to actually hook the thing. And so it's just like if the bears freak you out, then just if you know someone who's not helping with that stuff, just tell them, be like, hey, why don't you just go ahead and do that? Because that's like really what we're trying to do. Because if we don't find a way to like nicely get the bears to leave, then we don't really have a lot of other options and we don't want to go that route. So
And I don't think they're super like regular. I'm a junior and I saw them for the first time like I don't know this year. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?
They don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah,
It's
they're
legitimately
just
don't
care
want
about
to
the
trash.
trash.
That's all it is. Like you're not walking around campus.
yeah.
Yeah, we honestly have a bigger problem with like skunks and possums. than bears.
And raccoons one time.
Yeah.
5 of them.
Yeah, Josh had a really good point though. If you do want to go make a spectacle of the bears, Grandfather Mountain is like 20 minutes away, and you can like on dollar days go and see the bears for a couple months. Like the captive bears that they have there, like for you to go look at. And they're really, really
there.
yeah. Behind like the wall.
Alright, so last question. Tiara says, I'll be there next year. Is it scary the first day or to make friends?
No, not at all. I'll say yes to that. Yeah, I thought it was so scary.
I thought it was.
Mine is like no to the hard to make friends.
Oh, yeah.
That is my hard no. The scary on the first day, I think it just depends on what type of person you are. But
Actually, I want to say, so with me being scared, it was hard to make friends in that I'm really introverted and when I don't know people, I can be really shy. And though I know there's a lot of people like that. And so what someone actually told me was a really great tip is that first week or so, keep your door open to your room, because it's really easy for people to walk by and just stop in and be like, hey, I like how you set up your room, or hey, I saw you in my geometry class. So those are just one of those really easy tips. Just keep your door open, and people are really friendly to stop on by and talk. And then that first week, we also have what's called a club expo. So that first week, just sign up for all the clubs that you're interested in, go and easily meet people. So if you're shy and introverted like me, there are absolutely opportunities for you to meet people, whether it's in your room or whether it's going out to a club.
I would say for me, it wasn't really scary on the first day. Again, I'm just more of an extroverted person. Also, two things, like one, I'm on a sports team, so that's just kind of like a lucky instant family type thing. That you're just naturally going to get to know those people faster and easier than necessarily having to like go out and find the friends. But the club expo is such a great opportunity. And also like go to the programs that your RAs put on. Because if you're still struggling to like find your group of people, I guarantee you like the people who are going to those programs and are interested are going to be similar to you. And so like that's going to help you find friends as well. It's just definitely one of those things of like, if you're not a let the friends come to me type person, you're more like I have to go out and find them. And it's just like participate in what we have for you to participate in, and the friends will come.
And keep in mind, everyone is in the exact same position. It's all part of the process. After the first week, you'll already, I mean, like for me, first week I already felt at home.
Yeah.
Felt like I've been doing this my entire life.
And you'll make friends during orientation during the summer too.
Yeah.
So you'll come in and maybe already have a few people that you've had like done activities with and things over that orientation group. And like I said, like join that admitted Bobcats page, because that's a really good way to meet people. And then when you come to campus, you know, you can be like, oh, I was talking to this person like on that page, and then find them, you know, message them or something and connect with them in real life. So like if you want to know people before you even come in, that page is a really good way to do it. That's all people who are coming in with you at the same time.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.